If I'm honest, I get quite excited about the High Holy Days. Certainly it's one of our busiest times, but it also reminds me how incredibly fortunate I am to be the Cantor here at FRS. For me, so much of Rosh Hashanah is about people and relationships. Of course, technically, Rosh Hashanah marks the continued turning of the world, and it helps me to measure time. But more than that, it's an opportunity to be with so many of our community. Rosh Hashanah affords me the chance to reconnect with people who go back to my childhood, while Yom Kippur provides the opportunity to reflect on how I live my life and how I hope to change in the coming year. As I think about things I wish I had done differently, I have a chance to try again and hope for a better outcome. Of course, as a cantor, I find this made far easier by the extraordinary liturgy of our Machzor, expressed through melody and led by our fabulous choir. You've probably heard me explain that I feel that music acts as midrash on our text. It helps to set the tone of the High Holy Days. It offers a deeper understanding, and it helps me to fill the gaps when the text is particularly challenging. I really look forward to being together over the coming month, whether we see each other every Shabbat or simply from year to year, and I look forward to making music together during 5775.
So what are the topics most discussed in this run-up to Rosh Hashanah? Well, I find they tend to be around tickets and lunch. But is that missing the essence of Rosh Hashanah? Samson Raphael Hirsch wrote, "The sound of the shofar calls us to God. It calls poor and rich to riches. It calls the most distant wanderer home." I love that feeling of identification, that sense of community, which reaches out to people like at no other time of the year. It calls even the most distant wanderer home. And the beauty of what's created by that wave of people wanting to be counted in at this time is where the true richness of this season lies. And does it call us to God? Hopefully. Whether you find God in the words on the page, within the silences in our services, or the familiarity of it all, or just by being part of the community of Israel. So is it all about tickets and lunch? Well, not if those tickets are in the hands of the most distant wanderer and also in the hands of those at the centre of the community, bringing us all together. And not if the riches of relationships are what's appreciated over lunch.
I approached the High Holy Days with a mixture of anxiety and hopefulness. For me, it's a mixture of a spiritual adventure and an obstacle course. I have no idea how it's going to be. I know what the landmarks are in the journey ahead. First of all, there is teshuvah, turning, returning, going back to ourselves, our tradition, our community, back to find again the vision of Judaism. And how do we do that? Tefillah is the second landmark. Tefillah is prayer. It's really self-judgment, self-reflection, an opportunity to go inside ourselves. And the third part of the journey is tzedakah. We don't stay just inside ourselves, but we move out. Tzedakah means not only charity, giving our money, but also giving our time, giving our energy, giving our commitment. It's about righteous actions. It's about our capacity for compassion and hope and justice and kindness and care. And all of these come into play for the High Holy Days. But how it will be this year, how the journey will go for me, for the community, no one knows. And that's why I approach it with a mixture of anxiety and hopefulness. Let's hope it's a good year.
Shana Tova. Tekiah. Shana Tova. Tekiah.